In the spotlight tonight is Rod Deeves from Birmingham, a teacher, and his specialist subject is Sir Chris Bonington. Dan Holloway from Chipping Norton, an administrator, and his subject is the Hannibal Lecter novels of Thomas Harris. Les Morrell from Norwich, a retired company director, his subject, Kett's Rebellion. And Katherine Morris from Oxford, a student, and her subject is the life and works of Tom Lehrer. Hello and welcome to Mastermind with me, John Humphreys. You join us in the first round of the Premier League quiz show. The rules are as simple as the questions are tough. 4 contenders will answer 2 minutes of questions on their specialist subject and 2 minutes on general knowledge. Tonight's winner goes through to the next round. So let's have our first contender, please. And your name is?
My name is Rod Deaves.
Your occupation?
Teacher.
And your chosen subject?
The life and career of Sir Chris Bonington.
Sir Chris Bonington in 2 minutes. What is the title of Chris Bonington's first autobiography, which was originally published in 1966?
I Chose to Climb.
Correct. Which open space near his home did the 3-year-old Bonington set out to explore with a young friend? They were found by the police 3 hours later.
Hampstead Heath.
Correct. In 1966, with whom did he make the first ascent of the north face of the Eiger by British climbers?
Don Willans.
Ian Clough. In the early 1950s, Bonington and Hamish McInnes made 3 first winter ascents on Buckle Etib Moor. They were Agag's Groove, the Direct on Crowbury Ridge, and which other?
Pass.
In 2005, he succeeded Princess Alexandra as the Chancellor of which university?
Lancaster.
Yes. What was the name of the shipping magnate who was once the husband of Diana Ross and led the 1985 Norwegian team with whom Bonington finally reached the summit of Everest?
Arnie Rees.
Arnie Ness. On which classic alpine route did he first climb with Don Willans in 1958?
Pass.
With which associate company of Unilever did Bonington have a brief career as a management trainee after leaving the army?
Vandenbergs.
Yes. What's the name of the house in the southwest corner of the Lake District where Bonington and his wife Wendy lived for 3 years after they moved out of their rented room in Ambleside?
Badger Hill.
Woodland Lodge. In 97 and 98, Bonington led expeditions to which peak in the Nien Tungla range in Tibet, although on both occasions the teams failed to reach the summit?
Pass.
Who partnered Bonington on the original route in the televised climb of the Old Man of Hoy?
Tom Patey.
Correct. What's the name of the medal that Bonington's been awarded by the Royal Asian Society?
Pass.
What did he call his first new route on the main wall of the Avon Gorge, which he put up with Jeff Francis in 1955 and named after one of T.S. Eliot's cats?
McCavity.
Correct. With which regiment did Bonington spend 3 days as a private before going on to Sandhurst?
The Royal Fusiliers.
Yes. With whom did Bonington embark on a sailing and climbing expedition to Greenland in 91 and to Iceland in 2005?
Robin Knox-Johnson.
Correct. Of which medical charity did he become the president in the 80s?
Pass.
What is the... Started, so I'll finish. What is the name of the Sherpa who summited on Everest on the Bonington-led expedition of 75 and who reached the top with Bonington in 85?
Pertemba.
Correct. You had 5 passes. Lepra was the charity of which he became president. Lawrence of Arabia was the name of the medal. It was Sapu Kungri, that particular expedition in Tibet. The southwest pillar of the Drew was the classic alpine route that he climbed, and Raven's Gully was the other winter ascent that I was looking for. 5 passes, Rod Deeves, 9 points. And our next contender, please. And your name is?
Dan Holloway.
Your occupation?
An administrator.
And your chosen subject?
The Hannibal Lecter novels of Thomas Harris.
The Hannibal Lecter novels. Here we go. According to the novels, what colour are Hannibal Lecter's eyes?
Maroon.
Yes. In The Silence of the Lambs, what's the common name of the moth that's found inside Klaus's mouth, whose scientific name is derived from those of 2 rivers in hell?
Death's Head Moth.
Yes. Which French writer's La Grande Dictionnaire des Cuisines does Lecter have with him in his cell at the asylum in Baltimore?
Dumas.
Yes, in Red Dragon. What does Lecter give as the reason why Graham had been able to catch him?
We're just the same.
Correct. At which exhibition in Florence does Rinaldo Pazzi see Dr. Fell for the second time before realising that he's actually Hannibal Lecter?
The atrocious torture instruments.
Yes. Lecter's ancestor and namesake who built the family castle in Lithuania is referred to by what title?
The Grim.
Yes. When he first meets Clarice Starling, Lecter tells her that she uses Evian skin cream and that she sometimes wears which perfume?
Lehrer de Tom.
Yes. What creature does Mason Verger keep in an aquarium by his bedside?
An eel.
Yes, which architectural feature is the subject of a pair of oil paintings, one of which is by Canaletto that was stolen from Lecter Castle during the Second World War?
The Bridge of Sighs.
Yes, in Red Dragon, the killer Francis Dolarhyde is the production chief of which film processing company in St. Louis?
Gateway.
Yes. From what object does Lecter take the hollow metal tube that he uses to make a handcuff key to escape from his cell in Memphis?
A pen.
Yes. In Hannibal, Clarice Starling finds which former inmate living in the abandoned cells of the now derelict State Hospital for the Criminally Insane when she goes looking for Lecter's medical file?
Sammy.
Yes, at the Brooklyn Museum in New York, whose portrait by Gilbert Stuart reminds Dolarhyde of his grandmother.
Whistler.
Washington. In Hannibal Rising, which of his father's former possessions is Hannibal Lecter carrying with him when he returns to Lithuania?
Pass.
In the original novel of The Silence of the Lambs, what variety of wine does Lecter say that he drank when he ate the census taker's liver and fava beans? This was changed to Chianti in the film.
Amarone.
Yes. In Hannibal, how much money does Mason Verger agree to pay in return for Lecter being delivered to him alive?
$3 million.
Correct. Which singing birds are a speciality at the Café de l'Est and are set free by Lecter after he kills the cafe owner?
Ortolan.
Ortolan is correct. You had just one pass. It was field glasses. That's what he was carrying with him when he went back to Lithuania. One pass. Dan Holloway, 15 points. And our next contender, please. And your name is?
Les Morell.
Your occupation?
Retired company director.
And your chosen subject?
Kett's Rebellion, 1549.
Kett's Rebellion of 1549 in 2 minutes. On which large expanse of moor on the eastern edge of Norwich did Robert Kett and his followers establish their camp on the 12th of July 1549?
Masshold Heath.
Yes, who was the City of Norwich sword-bearer who was ordered by the King's Herald to arrest the massed rebels after they refused the offer of a pardon?
Edward Pettibone.
John Pettibone. How many articles comprised the rebels' complaints that were submitted to the King?
29.
Yes, what's the title of the account of the rebellion written by Nicholas Southerton, which is regarded as the most important contemporary narrative?
The commotion in Norfolk.
Correct. While the rebels were camped on the edge of Masshold Heath, in which house did Kett imprison captured city officials?
Surrey House.
Correct. What profession is Robert Kett said to have followed, aside from being a farmer and a small landholder?
Tanner.
Correct. Article 10 of the rebels' complaint demanded that no man under the degree of knight or esquire should be allowed to keep what?
Doves.
Yes, a dovecot. What was the name of the mayor of Norwich at the time of the rising who attempted to reason with the rebels before becoming their prisoner and a signatory to their articles of complaint?
Mayor Cod.
Yes, after the rebels' final defeat, Robert Kett rode to which village 8 miles from Norwich, where he was seized and held until the arrival of Warwick's troops?
Swannington.
Correct. What was the name given to the German mercenaries who joined Warwick's army at the decisive Battle of Dussindale?
Landknecht.
Yes, according to the indictment against Kett and his brother, which treasonable phrase was used as the rebels' rallying cry?
Pass.
Which bridge over the Wensum in Norwich was the only one to be destroyed on Warwick's orders?
Fly Street Bridge.
Whitefriars. What name has been given to the tree on Masshold Heath under which Kett had established a court of justice, but from which 9 of the rebels were summarily hanged after the defeat of Dussindale?
The Oak of Reformation.
Correct. The overzealous actions of which lawyer and landowner during the dissolution of the monasteries made him one of the earliest targets of the rebels when they tore down enclosures at Heatherset?
Flowerdew.
Correct. In which village were the rebels temporarily camped when the sheriff, Sir Edward Wyndham, rode out to command them to disband?
Bothorpe.
Yes. What was the name of the young nobleman who was killed by a rebel named Fulk during Northampton's failed attempt to subdue the rebels?
Lord Sheffield of Butterwick.
Yes, on the 7th of July, which saint's feast day was celebrated by a 2-day fair? I'll finish the question. At Wyndham, which led to the start of the unrest.
St Thomas of Becket.
Indeed it was. You had just one pass. Kill the gentleman was the rebels' rallying cry. One pass. Les Morell, 14 points. And our final contender, please. And your name is?
Katherine Morris.
Your occupation?
Student.
And your chosen subject?
The life and works of Tom Lehrer.
Tom Lehrer in 2 minutes. Tom Lehrer entered which university to study mathematics when he was just 15 years old?
Harvard.
Correct. The maid poisons her mother with which dish in the Irish ballad?
Stew.
Cyanide soup. Lehrer claims to have invented which dessert in order to get around alcoholic drink restrictions when he was in the army?
Jello shots.
Yes, vodka jelly. From which 1963 film starring Rock Hudson and Rod Taylor did Lehrer write the SAC song?
Pass.
According to the song Who's Next, which country got the nuclear bomb after France?
China.
Yes, who's credited alongside Lehrer for the piano arrangements in the songbook Too Many Songs by Tom Lehrer?
Gilbert and Sullivan.
Frank Metis. The Elements is set to the tune of which Gilbert and Sullivan song?
Modern Major General.
Correct. Whom did Lehrer describe as the greatest lyricist the English language has ever produced?
Pass.
In the foreword to Too Many Songs, Lehrer states that when he was asked to write songs about current affairs, he often felt like a resident of Pompeii who's been asked for some humorous comments on what?
Living next to volcanoes.
No, lava. What is the name of the senator for California between 65 and 71 who is the title subject of one of Lehrer's songs?
George Murphy.
Correct. Which government agency did Lehrer work for during his 2 years military service from 55 to 57?
Pass.
When the song I Got It From Agnes was originally written and performed, what name did Lehrer quote instead of Agnes?
Sally.
Yes, what was the title of the stage show at the Lyceum Theatre in London in June 98, for which Lehrer came out of retirement and performed before the Queen?
Tom. Hey, Mr. Producer.
Yes, Lehrer taught mathematics at which university for 30 years from 72 onwards?
University of California, Santa Cruz.
Yes, for which 74 BBC sketch show starring Marty Feldman is Lehrer listed in the credits alongside Barry Cryer, Graham Chapman and Johnny Spate?
That was the year that was.
No, Marty Back Together Again. On which record label did Lehrer have two British top 10 albums in 58 and 60?
Rhino.
Decca. In the Masochism Tango, which part of the singer's body gets caught in his partner's left castanet?
Nose.
Yes, before he began producing his own records. I'll finish the question. In the early 50s, Lehrer sought advice from which doctor who had released a folk song album?
Pass.
Well, I can tell you that one. It is Ginandez. And your other passes, Lehrer worked for the National Security Agency. He described as the greatest lyricist, etc., Stephen Sondheim, and A Gathering of Eagles was that 1963 film. Katherine Morris, 4 passes, 9 points. So that's the end of the first round. Let's have a look at the scores. In joint third place with 9 points, Rod Deeves and Katherine Morris. In second place with 14 points, Les Morell. In the lead, just with 15 points, Dan Holloway. So, the general knowledge round now, and if there's a tie at the end of the round, as you'll probably know, then the number of passes get taken into account, and the person with the fewest passes is the winner. If there's still a tie, well, then there's a 5-question playoff. So, let's get on with the general knowledge round and ask Rod to join us again, if he would, please. And Chris Bonington, you've been answering questions about, who was, I suppose you describe him as a traditional climber.
Yeah, I think he epitomises British climbing.
And what does that mean in your terms?
A traditional approach. He's a very good self-publicist, but he epitomises getting out there as a boy every weekend, you know, learning the ropes from people who are older than him. And he's got a beard, of course, which is always always helpful in the Himalayas. Yeah,
yes, quite. As opposed to what? I mean, what's a modern climber?
Modern climbers tend to rely a lot on the equipment now because the equipment's got so much better. Technology has moved on.
So the technology has changed, and yet we know that some of the greatest climbers of our time climbed Everest wearing a good tweed jacket and stout brogues. I mean,
there's a recent study where they actually replicated a climb at high altitude with the original clothing that was worn by the pioneers of the 30s, and it was found to be just as efficient as the modern technologies and the man-made fibres.
But a bit heavier, I suppose.
A bit heavier, yes.
Right, 9 points so far. Let's see how you do with general knowledge. 2 minutes, starting now. Which eagle found in Scotland and northern England gets its name from the colour of the feathers on its head and neck?
Golden eagle.
Yes, which motoring programme began as a local show in the Midlands before transferring to national television with Angela Rippon as one of its early hosts?
Top Gear.
Yes, what did Elsie Wright and Francis Griffiths claim to have photographed at Cottingley in 1917?
Fairies.
Yes, in which Commonwealth country were the Governor-General, the Prime Minister and the Leader of the Opposition all women at the start of the 21st century?
Pass.
The Pawngartner altarpiece and Praying Hands are among the works of which artist born in Nuremberg in 1471?
Pass.
In As You Like It, who takes the name Ganymede when she's banished from the court and goes to live in the Forest of Arden?
Pass.
The Derbyshire village of Edale is at the southern end of which long-distance trail?
Cumbrian Way.
Pennine Way. In the early 60s, which band's booking agent, Alan Williams, famously advised their future manager not to touch him with a barge pole?
The Beatles.
Yes, by what name was the Chicago bank robber Lester Gillis better known because of his youthful looks?
Babyface.
Yes, Babyface Nelson. Which island group in the North Atlantic is a self-governing British colony and is named after the Spanish navigator who was said to have discovered it early in the 16th century?
Pass.
Who wrote Colonel's Son, a James Bond adventure under the pseudonym Robert Markham in 1968?
Ian Fleming.
Kingsley Amis. In architecture, what term for a range of columns along the front or side of a building comes from the Latin for a porch?
Doric.
Portico. Which actor was the first to play Doctor Who?
William Hartnell.
Yes, what name is given to the pollen-producing part of a flower stamen?
Pass.
Of which international sporting body did Josef Sepp Blatter of Switzerland become the 8th president in June 98?
FIFA.
Yes. Which 53 Ealing comedy was set on the long-defunct Camerton and Libley Stoke branch line known locally as the Clank?
Titfield Thunderbolt.
Yes, who was known to the FBI's Agent T10 when he spied on his fellow actors during the 1940s and early 50s?
Ronald Reagan.
Yes, born in Hong Kong in 1887... Started self-finished. Born in Hong Kong in 1887, which British potter set up a pottery in St Ives in 1920 with Shoji Hamada, whom he met while working in Japan?
Pass.
Well, I can tell you, we're out of time. It was Bernard Leach. Your other passes, the pollen-producing bit is the anther. Bermuda is that island group. Rosalind is banished from court and goes to live in the Forest of Eden. Dürer was the artist, Paumgarten altarpiece, Praying Hands. And it was New Zealand, where they were all women. 6 passes, Rod Deeves, 18 points. And now Katherine Morris, please. Delighted that you're a fan of Tom Lehrer, a very, very funny man.
Yes.
But how would you describe him? A satirist, a singer, a what?
I suppose it's a combination of both. I mean, satirist, but I mean, he didn't just do satires. I mean, you've got list songs he did as well. I mean, I think he was a big fan of Gilbert and Sullivan, which I think is where he got a lot of his inspiration from.
What his work did you like in particular?
There's Poisoning Pigeons, and the other one is the Elements song, which,
the Elements song.
Which really got me. I can always remember listening to it, the CDs on long car journeys.
Can you remember any of it?
Antimony, arsenic, aluminum, selenium, and hydrogen, oxygen, and nitrogen, and rhenium, and nickel, neodymium, neptunium, germanium, and iron, americium, ruthenium, uranium. It goes...
Wow! And you could keep going, right? All the way through to the end.
All 104 of them.
104 elements. Fantastic. Anyway, you scored 9 points with him. Let's see how you do with your general knowledge. 2 minutes, starting now. What was the London home of the Queen Mother from 1953 till her death in 2002?
Clarence House.
Yes. Which species of dolphin whose face shows a characteristic smile is the most widely kept in zoos and marine aquariums?
Bottlenose.
Yes. In March 1999, Brian Jones and Bertram Piccard made the first non-stop circumnavigation of the globe in what means of transport?
Hot air balloon.
Yes. Kinder Scout is the highest point in which English county?
Cumbria.
Derbyshire. Which television comedy series written by Jennifer Saunders is set around the Women's Guild in the West Country town of Clatterford?
Jam in Jerusalem.
Yes. What was the name of Henry VIII's older brother, whose death in 1502 made Henry the heir to the throne?
Arthur.
Yes. Which London-born fashion designer won the British Designer of the Year award 4 times between 1996 and 2003?
Pass.
The wildflower lady slipper, or Cypripedium calceolus, belongs to which plant family?
Pass.
What was the married name of the novelist Elizabeth Cleghorn Stevenson, by which she's better known?
Pass.
The scale for measuring the magnitude of earthquakes is named after which American physicist and seismologist?
Richter.
Yes. What term for a time of peace and happiness comes in part from the Greek word for kingfisher?
Pass.
Who plays the cad Daniel Cleaver in the film Bridget Jones' Diary and its sequel?
Hugh Grant.
Yes. Which former England cricket captain was born of an Indian father and an English mother?
Nasser Hussain.
Yes. Who wrote Flush, a biography which tells of the love affair between Elizabeth Barrett and Robert Browning from the point of view of Elizabeth's dog?
Pass.
Near which city did the Blue and White Niles merge to form one river?
Cairo.
Khartoum. Which all-girl group released their new single Rocksteady in November 2006, having reformed earlier in the year?
Pass.
Whose prison number 46664 was used as the name of an internet and mobile phone campaign to increase public awareness of AIDS?
Nelson Mandela.
Yes, in Japanese cuisine, which name indicates a dish of meat or shellfish marinated in a soy sauce and grilled or broiled?
Pass.
Well, I can tell you, it's Teriyaki. That all-girl pop group was the All Saints. Virginia Woolf wrote Flush, a biography. Halcyon Days comes from the Greek word for kingfisher. Mrs. Gaskell was the married name of Elizabeth Cleghorn Stevenson. Lady Slipper, etc., or Orchids. And Alexander McQueen was the fashion designer who won so many awards. 7 passes. Katherine Morris, 18 points. And now Les Morell, please. I suspect many people are going to say Kett's rebellion. Who was Kett?
Oh, Robert Kett was a middle-class yeoman, 57 years old.
This is back in the 16th
1549,
century.
so in the time of Edward VI. Quite why he led a rebellion, nobody knows.
It didn't do much good, did it?
He was hung in chains from the
Right.
walls of Norwich Castle, so no, I guess it didn't.
Hardly a success. And it only lasted a few weeks.
It was about 6 weeks, but during that time he twice took Norwich, the second city in the realm at that time.
Right.
So it was quite a big thing. He defeated one army sent by the council, representing Edward VI, and came pretty close in his final battle with the Earl of Warwick.
So, in a nutshell, was he a hero or a villain?
I'd say margin a hero.
Right, you have 14 points so far with your knowledge of Kett's rebellion. Let's see how you do with general knowledge. You're very much in the running at the moment. 2 minutes. Which artist topped the UK singles charts in 1968 with the song What a Wonderful World?
Louis Armstrong.
Yes, which city of West Central England is famous for manufacturing sauce and porcelain?
Worcester.
Yes, what name was coined in the First World War for immersion foot, a painful condition caused by prolonged exposure to dampness and cold?
Trenchfoot.
Yes, which breed of hound, known as the Royal Dog of Egypt, dates back to ancient times, was originally bred to hunt gazelle?
Pass.
When the statue of William Wallace was unveiled in Stirling in 97, it caused controversy because it was said to bear a resemblance to which actor?
Mel Gibson.
Yes, in the Bible, who was the second wife of Jacob and the mother of Joseph and Benjamin?
Sarah.
Rachel. In geometry, rectangle, rhombus, rhomboid and square are 4 varieties of which type of quadrilateral?
Parallelogram.
Yes, Paul Morell is the principal character of which semi-autobiographical novel by D.H. Lawrence, widely regarded as his first major work?
Sons and Lovers.
Yes, who was the American president at the outbreak of the Korean War?
Truman.
Yes, Botticelli famously painted the birth of which Roman goddess standing on a pink shell in the sea?
Venus.
Yes, in which American city do Roman Catholics worship in St. Patrick's Cathedral and Episcopalians in St. John the Divine?
New York.
Yes, about whom did George Best once say he can't kick with his left foot, can't tackle, and he doesn't score many goals. Apart from that, he's all right.
David Beckham.
Yes, which Spanish cello virtuoso and conductor was such an ardent opponent of General Franco that for a time he refused to perform in countries that recognised his regime?
Pass.
Which King of England was buried at Greyfriars Monastery in Leicestershire near the place where he was killed?
Richard III.
Yes, what term for a country's typical weather conditions is derived from the Greek word for a slope?
Climate.
Yes, which author and broadcaster has set many novels in his native Cumbria, including The Maid of Buttermere and A Time to Dance?
Pass.
Which classic television comedy featured the antics of the Royal Artillery Concert Party based in India during the Second World War?
It ain't our fault, Mum.
Yes, in house buying, what term refers to the net difference between the value of a property and any outstanding mortgage or loan repayments?
Equity.
Yes, which Asian plant produces oils or finish with a penetrating smell which used to be rubbed on the chest to ease colds?
Camphor.
Camphor, camphorated oil. Yes, you have 3 passes. Melvyn Bragg wrote The Maid of Buttermere and so on. Pablo Casals was the cello virtuoso, and Saluki is the breed of hound known as the Royal Dog. 3 passes. Les Morell, 29 points. So the fight is on. Dan Holloway, finally, please. Hannibal Lecter. Now, I've never understood why, but wasn't he, Hannibal Lecter, described as the huggy bear of serial killers? I mean, why? He was awful.
Partly because of his culture and his good manners.
Right.
I think he said that he would only kill the rude, or he preferred to kill the rude.
What is it? What's the appeal of horror stories?
I think horror stories in general people see as sort of a dare. I think people like to be scared.
And is he one of the best of them, of that genre, do you think?
I think he is the best, yes.
Do you?
Partly because of the amount of research, the cultural references I think make it stand out. And I think he's a character that you can in a way warm to. And I think
yes.
there's
If you can get past the point
Yes.
that where he likes to kill you and eat you, yeah.
Yes.
Right, well, you have 15 points. The score that you have to beat is 29. Let's see if you can do it. Here we go. How are the yeoman warders of the Tower of London more popular known?
Beefeaters.
Correct. Which creature's name means earth pig in Afrikaans?
Aardvark.
Yes, in human medicine, what's historically considered to be normal at approximately 98.6 degrees Fahrenheit, 37 degrees Celsius?
Body temperature.
Correct. What's the nationality of the tennis player Marat Safin, who defeated Leighton Hewitt in the final of the 2005 Australian Open to win his second Grand Slam singles title?
Russian.
Yes. Which nut gets its name from the Old English for foreign nut?
Walnut.
Yes. Which crew member of Star Trek's Starship Enterprise was widely believed to have been added in 1967 at the request of Pravda?
Chekhov.
Yes. What was established as an independent state by the Lateran Treaty of 1929?
Vatican City.
Correct. The barrister Montague Druitt was one of the chief suspects for the identity of which famous murderer?
Jack the Ripper.
Yes. Which Lancashire hill is particularly associated with witches?
Pass.
What is the popular name for the wild carrot because its white flowers look similar to lace, its reddish flowers resemble the blood of a British monarch who pricked herself with a needle?
Pass.
Which band achieved their first entry in the UK singles chart in February 2004 with Somewhere Only We Know?
Blue.
Keane. Who married his longtime girlfriend Sarah Macaulay in a private ceremony at his home in North Queensferry, Fife in August 2000?
Charles Kennedy.
Gordon Brown. French and Dutch are two of the official languages of Belgium. What's the third?
Walloon.
German. Which Christian evangelist brothers founded the Methodist movement in the 18th century?
Wesley.
Yes. Tafari Makinen was the emperor of Ethiopia from 1930 to 1974. By what name was he better known?
Haile Selassie.
Yes. Which conflict is the subject of Laurie Lee's book A Moment of War?
As I Walked Out One Midsummer Morning.
Spanish Civil War. Which Hackney-born actor provides the voices of Soldier Sam in the film version of The Magic Roundabout and Mr. Beaver in The Lion, the Witch and the Wardrobe?
Pass.
Hydrophobia is an alternative name for which often fatal disease?
Dehydration.
Rabies, whose body was returned for burial to the Duarte family tomb in Buenos Aires after being stolen in 1955 and buried under a false name in Italy for 16 years?
Eva Peron.
Evita, or Eva Peron, as you say. You had 3 passes. Ray Winston provided all those voices. Queen Anne's Lace is the popular name for the wild carrot, and Pendle Hill is associated with witches. 3 passes. Dan Holloway, 26 points. So, at the end of the contest, let's have a look at the scores. In joint third place with 18 points, Rod Deaves and Katherine Morris. In second place with 26 points is Dan Holloway. In first place, he held on to the lead with 29 points, Les Morell. Which means that Les Morell goes through to the next round. Congratulations to him, and do join us next week for more Masterminds. Thank you for watching. Goodbye. To find out more about tonight's specialist subjects, do log on to www.bbc.co.uk/mastermind.
So that's the mental warm-up done. Now stay here on BBC Two to pit your wits against Jeremy Paxman and University Challenge next. Then sweet Bengali dal and crunchy okra with a gourmet pudding too. Healthy Indian food made easy at 8:30.